Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Rewind That. It's your girl Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Okay, so today we're going to be going over the latest episode of Queen Sugar, season 5, episode number 9, called In Summertime to Simply Be. So the episode starts off with Blue finding the acceptance letter to the School of Gifted Children, Sidwell, right? He automatically thinks it's such an awesome idea until his parents lets him know that it's not a summer camp and that he will have to go live with his grandmother if he wants to go. So it's not such awesome news to Blue anymore, and he tells his parents that he doesn't want to ever live apart from them. But Ralph Angel tells him not to worry about that right now because it's only a letter. And we already know how Darla feels, right? She was pissed at the fact that her mom even submitted an application without her permission. On top of that, Darla has already missed a lot of time with Blue, so she definitely doesn't want him moving away. Next, Charlie wakes up to find Davis pounding a hammer on her door, and he tells her that he had to break in the other day so he can get inside. But Charlie didn't even remember any of this because she was so out of it. Then Charlie sees that Davis brought her some food, and he tells her that she needs some nutrients and that she will be eating today because she hasn't eaten in the last 48 hours. So Charlie is kind of baffled right now because Davis is really just taking care of her. I don't know why she doesn't expect this, but whatever. Next, Aunt Vi wants to make sure that Blue is definitely not going to DC for school, so she has Nova call Ralph Angel to see what's going on. When Nova asks Ra what's going on with the school, he tells her that they want to find a school closer that will still fit Blue's needs. Nova tells Ra that she's happy to hear of his decision because the school in DC just wants to meet a quota. She also tells Ralph Angel that St. Joe may not have the best schools, but they will give Blue a sense of pride and belonging. Before she gets off the phone, she tells Ra that him and Darla made the right decision, and he says, "Thank you." Then Aunt Vi calls him to tell him that she heard he finally came to his senses. She also tells Ralph Angel that she's surprised it took him so long and that she already had to tell his mother-in-law off and she thought she was going to have to get into him too. So, Ralph Angel was just like, he wanted to make sure that they weighed Blue's options and, they just think about everything. So Aunt Vi says that the problem with us is we always act like we got to go somewhere else to be great when we could be great right here. Anyway, the whole time Hollywood was looking at Aunt Vi like, you just can't stop meddling, can you? And although I see what Aunt Vi is saying and I get her concern, she could have did without calling Ralph Angel to express that. She should have just been happy with Nova telling her about the decision. And that was that, like stay out of it in that way, Aunt Vi. That's all, It was almost like she called to kind of rub things in. It was weird. Anyway. Next, Ra calls Micah and tells him that Blue got accepted into Sidwell, and Micah was super excited to hear this, okay, because he said the Obama girls went there and all that. So Ra tells him that he and Darla decided not to send Blue. And so Micah was like, why? And Ralph Angel tells him that it's because, he really doesn't know anything about that world. But Micah tells Ralph Angel that he knows all about that world, and schools like Sidwell could really open up some doors. He tells Ralph Angel that those kind of schools have their cons, and they're not everything, but it's definitely a leg up. So when Ralph Angel says to Micah, didn't you reject all that when you chose HBCU over all them Ivy Leagues? Micah says, yes, but I made choices that I'm happy with, and it was a privilege to even have a choice, and my parents gave me that. And, you could already see that by the way this conversation went, it was definitely making Ralph Angel rethink his decision because, of course, he wants to give his son the best opportunity, that most kids don't get. Anyway, before we move on to the next scene, I want to talk about the little commercial that came on after the scene with Ralph Angel and Micah. So we have Tina Lifford and Omar Dorsey, the actors who play Aunt Vi in Hollywood. So they're talking about how they received the COVID-19 vaccine and they encourage people to get information on the vaccine before they totally decide not to get it, right? So I'm just going to say real quick, guys, that I'm not speaking against the vaccine. All I'm going to tell you is that you should be careful before deciding to get it because people are dying mysteriously after receiving the vaccine and they are not reporting such cases and side effects. All right. My mom and sister are nurses and they can share a few stories. So again, Just please be careful, okay? Next, Ralph Angel and Darla sit down with Blue and they ask him if he would like to go to Sidwell. Because Ralph Angel overheard Blue saying that he wanted to be a farmer, right? He was on the phone with one of his friends and he told his friend that he wants to be a farmer when he grows up, like his pops. Anyway, Ralph Angel tells Blue that they definitely need more black farmers, but there's nothing wrong with wanting to be something else in life. And that's when the conversation of Sidwell came up, and Blue let his parents know that he would like to go to Sidwell to learn new things and meet new people. So the moment gets a bit emotional because, of course, this means that Blue will have to move away. Next, Charlie receives a text from Ra about a family meeting, and she tells Davis that she will have to attend or else they will suspect something, right? Because since last week's episode, we see that Charlie has this weird idea that she shouldn't tell her family that she was sick, not even Micah. So last week we heard Davis telling her that she should give people the choice to decide if they want to be there for her, and she should not decide for them, right, by withholding information, because that's pretty selfish, right? And this week, in this episode, Davis tells Charlie that she needs to slow down and get some rest. He even uses her own words against her about rushing to a halt, right? He challenges Charlie to re-examine things and figure out what everything will mean to her once she gets to the other side of things. Maybe her being sick might be the start of her new healthy. Next, the Borderlones have their family meeting via Zoom, and Blue tells the family that he got accepted into a really cool school and his parents are going to let him go. So everyone is like, congratulations, Blue, and even Aunt Vi has to maintain her composure because she is not happy about this, right? She congratulates Blue, but also she texts Ralph Angel at the same time to let him know that they need to talk about this. So later that night, Aunt Vi calls Ralph Angel and pretty much tells him that he's making a big mistake and he's going to ruin Blue's life. And I wasn't really sure how, this whole situation is going to ruin Blue's life, but Aunt Vi loves Blue and she doesn't want him to go. So I guess maybe she'll say anything at this point. But, I don't agree with her approach right now because she did kind of start off a little disrespectful and throwing a lot of things in Ralph Angel's face and saying that haven't you brought Blue through enough crap and all that. It was kind of unnecessary, right? Anyway, Ra tells Aunt Vi that she needs to stop telling him what to do with his son. He also says that she's not going to disrespect him and that he's trying not to do the same, and he is also trying not to hang up on her. But the most hurtful thing was when he told Aunt Vi that Blue is not her son and she don't even have any kids. Well, he said, you ain't even a parent. That's what he told her, So the most hurtful thing wasn't the fact that he said Blue is not her son. We know that, right? The hurtful thing was when he said, you're not even a parent, So when he said that, I was like, whoa, you done went too far, Ra. I really didn't appreciate Ra saying this because Aunt Vi helped raise Blue, especially while he was in jail and Darla was somewhere getting high on drugs, okay? So to say something like that was really disgusting. And, even if she didn't birth any children, she has been a mother to Ralph Angel, Nova, and Blue. So he was way out of line. Aunt Vi lets Ralph Angel know that he really proved that he ain't nothing but a little boy. All that huffing and all that he was doing just shows you just a little boy. And, that his father would be ashamed of him. Next, Davis is leaving Charlie now. She thanks him for staying with her and, being so helpful and just interrupting his whole life, right? Davis lets Charlie know that she shouldn't be surprised because he's always going to stop what he's doing to take care of her, no matter where he is. And when Davis left, it looked like Charlie missed him already. Next, we get to the last scene, and throughout the episode, we saw that Nova had a new case she was investigating about a star athlete who was paralyzed by the cops. So she goes to meet with him to hear his story, and when he gets to the end of it, Nova asks him if he was able to get badge numbers or names of the officers. And the guy, I believe his name was Andre, he says it was him. And, even though this person, him, was nowhere around, I just had this feeling as soon as he said him, I automatically was like, please don't tell me it was Calvin. And of course, we already know it sure was, okay? Andre tells Nova that Calvin was the one who actually struck the blow that paralyzed him. The new guy, he called him, right? And of course, this is going to be devastating for Nova because she loves her Calvin. And on last week's episode, they were just talking about getting married. So I'm not sure what this news is going to do to their relationship, but it can't be good. And really don't think it's gonna work out, but whatever. The funny thing is that in a few scenes back, we saw Nova returning home from like a run or something, and she was rushing around and she messed around and caused a picture of her and Calvin to fall, and it shattered. And you know, that did not go unnoticed for me, okay? And I took that as a bad sign for their relationship. And the odd thing is that right after the picture frame breaks, she gets the call from Andre. And that was how the episode ended, guys, with her getting this devastating news. Make sure you guys let me know how you felt about this episode. You know, what do you think is going to happen between Calvin and Nova? And also, let's talk about Charlie and Davis for a minute. Do you think they're going to get back together? What you think about that? And is Ralph Angel going to say sorry to his aunt? You know what I mean? But anyway, guys, that was the video for today. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And hit the notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Until next time, you guys take care and be blessed. Bye-bye.